And we're off.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
This is what we look like off. Drink it in. You have beautiful hair despite the rain.
The rain actually helps it.
Is that right? When you have wavy hair, when you're a wavy hair goddess.
Yeah.
When you're a wavy hair king like Zoya.
Oh, king. King?
Zoe, you're
Mike.
a fucking wavy hair king. What do you think about that?
I'm not a king.
Yeah, you are. Depending on who you ask.
I'm a queen.
You are a queen.
Yes.
I photographed a show and Tiffany Haddish was on it.
Uh-huh.
And she was wearing a shirt, and on the back there were embroidery words that said queen. And I said, you know who would like that?
Your girl.
My mom. My girl.
Your girl.
My number one girl. What are you looking for?
I'm just going to try and turn off the number 3. Oh, of course, because we're
Yes.
already going. Whatever.
You're doing great.
Thank you. So are you.
It's so great to just take a break from the hustle and bustle of each day
Yes.
and to sit down with you
And connect.
across from you and connect. And we used to do this and that. Feed the chickens, everyone. It's time to feed the fucking chickens because it's Welcome to Our Podcast.
Welcome.
This is a show where a hairdresser and a comedian who have had physical love sit down and we entertain your questions about your relationship to anything. Other people,
Other
food,
things?
jaying off,
Oh.
you rollerblading. I'm just
Okay.
giving examples. Don't stop me in the middle of.
Okay. No, you go, king.
Don't.
Go
Thank
off.
you. Don't jump
Yes.
on the tracks while the thinking of things train is coming through.
Okay.
Here's another thing.
Fair.
Kellogg's wall calendar. That
Tony
was
the Tiger.
cheating. Shag carpet. Additions, when people put additions on their house. Your relationship to any of these things and more could be discussed at length on this podcast.
This and so much more.
Where can you ask questions? Here's a place. Our Instagram account, which is at welcome_to
Pod. No.
_ you look it up, you'll find it. Welcome to Our Podcast. And then Twitter is at welcomepod. And then our email is
Welcome to the podcast at gmail.com.
yeah. So if you have a longer question, you could fucking shoot it there. If you're looking around, where can I shoot it? I'm giving you consent to shoot it into our Gmail box.
And I'll put a link down below.
Thank you so much, Zoya.
You're so welcome, Michael.
Here's some other things.
When are you going to be performing?
First of all, thank you for asking me, Zoe. And because I have that information literally right here and ready since the beginning of the show, I'll say it.
If it was right there, you would have already been saying it.
January 10th.
Whoa.
I'm straight
January
for...
10th?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? You just got super excited about that?
Yeah.
January 10th, I'm going to be straight for pay in Glendale at the Glendale Room with my good friend Sarah Connors, and she is very funny. She is also obsessed with you, and it's like, get in line. Robbie
Yes.
loves you,
Love her.
Connors, and Rachel Scanlon. All obsessed.
Some of my favorite people.
Put it out there, Les.
Nope.
January 13th, I'm live at the Blossom Market. I'm doing a headlining set, so it's uncommon in the Los Angeles region to do 45 minutes to an hour of just straight up fucking around. And we sold some tickets, but there's a bunch left, so come to that if you want.
Come on.
That's going to be a fun time.
Where's that?
Good Boys putting it on. That's at the Blossom Market in San Gabriel.
San Gabriel.
San Gabriel. So if you're in Southern Connecticut, yipes, I'm not even in Southern Connecticut.
Nope.
California area.
Callern.
January 20th,
know.
I'm back at the Hollywood Improv. And of course, on the 3rd of next month are the next Surrounded shows.
Yay.
Would love for you to come to that. Working on big things for that show. hosting some shows for JFL this month, and there's a bunch of other LA shows next month.
February.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And there are a bunch of other LA shows peppered in, and I just have to update my website, which is what I'm reading from now.
I love it.
What's going on with you, Zoe? You took me to a great house party the other night.
Yeah, we had fun. We had there's a bunch of us who ended up leaving the salon and opened up our own like little studios, and we're all in like the same area.
Yeah.
And I ended up co-hosting with our old manager, whom I love.
You hosted a party at somebody else's house.
Well, I helped her host it, yeah.
Got it all something.
Together. Yeah, it was fun. You dropped me off at work that morning. She was my ride home to her house from work. And then we just kind of like set up and just were fucking around. And it was nice. We had like dinner, and we shared fun stories, and yeah, it was good.
What are in your mind top 3 things you got to have when you're hosting a party? Party isn't fun without what?
Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie.
Yeah.
And that you don't really discover that until you're older, which is, if you're listening to this for some reason and you're like 17, start cutting up cheese and meat, dude.
Yeah, it was good.
And lay it out. Or if you don't eat that stuff, just put a bunch of stuff that you do eat on a board.
Yeah, we put it on parchment paper and just made a mess of whatever.
Yeah, you could also protect almost any service.
Yeah, and
with
easy cleanup.
Parchment paper. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was fun. We had a good time. Yeah, everyone stayed until like late night. It was fun. Mike was trying to get out of there though.
I got tired.
Yeah.
I'm not, dude, we've talked about this before, but I am not mark the spot in your bingo card where I say we've talked about this before. But when I lose energy, I'm out. No good.
Yeah, he's out. It's very funny.
It's been a point of contention before. I remember one time we went out and I had no desire to be there. But dude, we get ever since we started taking questions, the how do I move in with someone comes up. It's asked every episode. Yeah. If you're in that stage in the relationship where you've been together so long that you're looking to cohabitate, I'll tell you, you've also probably been around long enough to get tired in a social setting.
Yes.
With the person that you love.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to suck it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay for you to be like, I'm ducking out because I'm just on empty right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And sometimes you got to fake a second wind.
Yes.
And suck it up.
Yep.
And that's an important skill to learn. And I don't have it all the time. I'll say that.
That's fair. I mean,
you suck it up a lot.
Yeah. But I think too, I suck it up a lot too at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just used to it.
Yeah, but so you're well practiced.
Yeah.
And then that's almost working double time when you have to do it socially after work. Like anytime I'm on a show and somebody's up there and they're not doing well, I'm like, look at Zoya sucking it up.
Because I'm always like this.
And you've had to endure so much of it, as I'm sure a lot of like people who are coupled up with stand-up comedians have, or musicians. Like if you're a band girlfriend and then you become a band wife and you're sitting through a bad band, you're sucking it up.
Yes, you are.
And we all appreciate your service.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before we move on though.
Yes.
Happy
birthday! Almost forgot.
Nope.
Oh.
As you all know, patreon.com is a virtual tipping and rewards website. And sometimes we have sponsors.
Yeah.
And as you know, podcast is a sponsor. You might be wondering how we got here.
And that was the D&D podcast.
Yes, and they now have their newest comedy venture. It's called The Podcast.
Yes.
Each week, podcasters Olivia O'Neill and Tyler pitch and create a new, innovative, and sometimes copyright infringing podcast.
Love it.
They are the masterminds behind such podcasts as Quizlink, a quiz show to help decide what tattoo you should get.
Okay.
Wonder Bread, a podcast explaining white culture to a minority.
Okay. I don't know how many listens it would get, but it is you can do it technically.
And Encyclopedia Podcastica, a podcast chapterizing everything from historical events to household items.
Okay.
You can find the links in our show on our website at website.biz. Again, that's website times 3.biz.
Good of you to snag up a .biz.
Yeah. And we're on all social medias such as triple P cast and now Real Podcast at Real Podcast God for some reason. That's what I got.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a little tough to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. We did it.
Also, we were talking about how we went to San Diego, and there's some clips up on my social media stuff of doing stand-up at Madhouse in San Diego. And the front part of that set, I was up there for like 20-30 minutes, and the first 12 minutes of that are up on our Patreon as well.
Yeah.
So there's a little extra thing.
It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you
Luis.
Yeah. That's it.
For getting us fucking hammered.
Yeah.
We were hurting so bad driving home that day.
No, that's a bad sentence to say. That we're separated by a whole night time.
Oh, yes. We stayed the night. The hangover portion of it sucked.
Yeah, it felt like we were driving home from a wedding.
Yes.
But yeah, man, that was New Year's Eve. And we had 2 shows at Madhouse Comedy. Shout out 10,000 times to them. And then we stayed at a hotel, and we got hammered, and it was so much fun. And I would recommend getting hammered and staying at a place.
Yes.
And a little vacation.
Yeah.
And then you wake up. Dude, what a team effort the next morning of like, okay, first of all, everyone shut up.
Just shut the fuck up. Stop.
The people on the street.
I can hear your thoughts.
The people, knocking on the door to clean the hotel room.
Walking by someone who threw up the night before.
Yeah, everyone in the elevator.
Tossing my nugs.
And almost tossing nugs. And even you, I'm talking to you right now, and I love you with every fiber of my being, and I want you to shut the fuck up.
Just stop fucking talking.
Everyone. So that's rule number 1.
Yes.
And then it's like we subconsciously pick who's going to find the bagel place. And this is us talking without making any words.
Yeah.
You're just looking and like, okay, are you going to put this in your phone? Or am I going to put this in my phone?
You put it in the phone.
I'll
We
put it
get
in the
there.
phone.
I'll jump out. Get us stuff.
Yeah.
I jump out of the car. Can't find it.
Fine.
I'm
I'll
looking.
find it.
I walk around the block, and then I literally go back up, knock on the window while he's parking. And I'm like, I can't find it, babe. I can't find it.
And those were the only words. And then we're looking across the street, and we're like, is it the place with the giant line? Is it the place with the giant line? Because if it is, I'm out. Because I don't fucking wait. I'm an adult, and I don't wait in lines for jack shit. Fast forward 15 minutes waiting in the line, going faster than you would imagine.
Yeah.
And it's a
Watching
team
the
effort
lady.
to get coffee. It's a team effort to get bagels. And it's a team effort to get out of there.
Yeah.
And to stay quiet and to quiet the world around each other. But
But
we did it.
We did.
We did
And,
it. We always do.
We stopped for gas, and Mike was like, "You go get Advil. I fill up the gas tank." I was like, "Great."
Team. You want to talk about some team shit?
Yeah. High five.
Me and
babe.
you are the Michael Johnston and Scotty Pipier of being married.
Yes, I like it.
Who's who?
I'd be Scotty. I loved him.
I was gonna say I'd be Scotty because of my nose.
Yeah, fair, but
Anyway, welcome to our podcast. Question number 1
yes.
for episode 1923.
Episode
Zoe?
14.
Some anonymous motherfucker asked, how could someone come to terms with being single for the remainder of their life? That goes back to what I was saying last week about stop trying to front like you can tell the future. Because you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Unless some doctor was like, I'll give you 10 minutes to live and you're single. He says that. And now you're like, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life because I got 10 more minutes.
Yeah, like
But that's not your situation.
I mean, okay, if you're asexual or whatever it is, like, okay, fine. You don't want to be in a relationship, that's on you. But if you have to come to terms, quote unquote, with being single forever, then that's on you.
Yeah, but they're saying how.
I don't know.
Dude, it's
That
kind
seems
of
like a very lonely way to live.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could do it by choice. What it sounds like to me, and maybe this is projecting or whatever, but somebody writes this question because they're feeling lonely and bummed out. And they're like, well, this is just going to be the way it's going to be because I can't see it changing. So how do I come to terms with this?
Yeah.
To that person, if that's the situation, I'd say, if you keep putting yourself out there and introducing yourself to people you don't know and in situations that are outside of your like normal routine, you never know what's going to happen. Legitimately, all the time, every day, there are several thousand chances for you to not know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If you're making a choice where you want to be single for the rest of your life, it's kind of the same advice that you would give to somebody who's looking for a relationship. And that's always like, you got to figure out a way to like truly love yourself first. And then you could find love with somebody else because you're like as close to 100% being good with yourself as you could possibly be. Or at least at a place where you're like very happy with yourself.
Right.
And then if you legit don't want to be with anyone and you're very happy with yourself and you're busy and you're doing things you want to do and you're like connected to your hobbies and what makes you happy and you're doing that shit, then have a good time by yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But, if you're just like sad boy McGillicuddy or girl McGillicuddy, I guess the name would be the same.
Same. Yeah.
Don't people always think they know so much. Like it's been like this for so long. I'm going to continue to know it like this. And I get that. And it sucks. It sucks being, getting caught up in cycles of stuff and like loneliness. And I get it. And that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But tomorrow could always be different. If you're blessed with a tomorrow, it could always be a little different.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the answer for that would be, all right, so you think you're going to be alone forever. Make sure that you are comfortable with who you are for the rest of your life to be alone for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I like the way you said that. You were like, so you're going to be alone forever. That don't impress me much. You remember that song?
yes.
She was like, so you're Brad Pitt.
That don't impress me much.
And that was after Fight Club came out.
Yeah.
Post Fight Club, Brad Pitt, Shania Twain
Was off. She
Not
was off
interested.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Interesting.
So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that one.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else why sometimes you react in a way where I'm like, I know why you're feeling like that. Do you think it would be helpful to say why you're feeling like that?
I feel like, okay, so this person, now this is just me assuming, okay? So this person is probably just fresh out of a relationship, or is still hung up on somebody that they were dating, and think that that person may be the only person for them because they understood them so well. Clearly, they didn't understand each other that well if they're broken up, first of all. This is just me.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why...
This is hearsay.
And not that it doesn't seem... Let's say that is the case. I fully understand the feeling that it's like, man, especially if you're with someone for a while and you feel like you get each other well, not being with that person or anyone, you're like, now I got to put in all the fucking work to get to know somebody else as well as I knew this other fucking person. And they have to know and understand and accept all the different, like, my little quirks and stuff like that. But I would say before the last person did it, you didn't know that person was coming along, and then they did. So give somebody else a chance to do that. And if you're operating from a place where it's like, no one's ever done that. So you're sitting there thinking, no one ever, who has the energy for that? Someone does. Yeah. You met everyone in the world? No?
Yeah. It's, to me, it's like, it's a very broad thing to like, be like, I'm going to be alone forever. Yeah. Like, if you aren't trying to put yourself out there, sure, that could potentially be your reality. Yeah. But why?
It's like either, okay, it's your choice, or you're assuming also. Yeah. Too much.
People fall in love all the time.
Yeah. Go to a bookstore and drop a book, and then you bump heads with someone. Yeah. And you get taken to the same hospital.
Head bumping.
And one of you pulls through, but the other one passes on. And then you meet that person's brother. And you're like, I'm not even attracted to men. And then you get married. Okay. What's the next question? And that's called a meet cute.
What's the next question?
Okay, next question we got is what, and this was great. And this is a great question. Okay. Here it comes. Okay. How, that's like the thing at the doctor's office in the pediatrician. Anyway, what are practical ways to get to know myself better?
Journaling.
Journaling is good. And then you don't. The trick is to not read it for a long time. And that's the hardest part. But the trick is to like fucking, you got to write in a journal for like 6 months and then not look at it for 3 months. And then start reading it. But don't fucking cheat. And then you'll kind of learn a lot about yourself.
I don't know. Taking yourself on trips by yourself.
Dude, I underlined practical because that's what fucked my shit up. Because I started thinking about what's even a halfway decent response to this great question. Like, how do you get to know yourself? You got to be in some shitty situation. You have to pull yourself out of some shitty situation. Yeah. Or just not even pull yourself out. That's great. That's something you can learn about yourself if that's how it works out. But there's this saying about how, if there's like a business, pay attention to the people who are really happy and productive and stuff when business is up. And pay attention to the way people are when business is down. Because those are the people you can depend on. Because everyone could be horny while business is up.
Of course.
Yeah. But you learn a lot about yourself through adversity. But it's not very practical to be like, welcome some adversity into your life. Right. Put yourself in a terrible position. And see if you could pull yourself out of it. Break up with someone, even if you love them.
Oh, okay. That's bad advice.
Well, would you not learn?
Yeah, you would learn, but you also might lose the one person that you can bounce shit off of.
My relationship with you was one of the things that helped me get out of that, like, I think I have everything figured out mindset.
Yeah.
What is
No,
that
I'm just
face
kidding.
for?
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
say why you made the face, Zoe.
Blah. Love and stuff.
Don't try to act hard. Why, you think because you got holes in your shirt, you're hard as fuck? Because you're wearing your prison shirt?
I bought it
with your
like that, okay?
Even more of a... Anyway,
Because I'm a cool guy.
I thought when we were in between whatever, I was like, it doesn't matter because I know exactly how things are going to go. And if it's not absolutely perfect, I don't need it. And I got everything all figured out. But that wasn't the case. And it made me double back and be like, are things really like that? Or did my explanation of life just fit my life a year ago? You know, it's like I really had how my life was nailed down a year ago.
Yeah.
So then you apply it to every year. Everything changes.
Yeah.
So how sure of some of your shit you're gonna be is gonna go up and down. And I was very sure of my shit, and then it almost fucked us up because I thought I could tell the future.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that I think a lot of people are afraid of change, and I know I've said this before, but if things aren't changing, you're not growing, right? So instead of being the guy that's going to be like, no more change. I like the way my life is right now, you know?
I don't like that reels are also on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook.
But I think that like a lot of people don't realize that things are going to change, you know? And I don't know. I feel like I got no good advice today.
No, you're good. You're always a bastion of good advice. Things are always going to change. It's like that people say it a million times. The only thing constant is change. So
Don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, dog.
Butter peoples.
So yeah, unfortunately, the best way that I know to get to know yourself real well is to be in some shit.
Yeah. That's the only time.
Yeah.
I know, like, right now, like, my schedule keeps, like, falling apart. And I know that this isn't, like, you know. But, like, how you were saying, like, go back and look at a business, right? And when things are, like, popping, whatever, see how they act. And when they're not, see how they act. Like, right now, it's like, okay, my schedule keeps falling apart. I've had, like, 4 cancellations just today, which is fine, you know. But it's like, okay, what am I going to do to replenish that income that should be coming in? But it always just, I know for me, like, I never, like, let it get me down. I'm like, okay, I'll take the little break that I have, you know?
Yeah.
And just, like, lean in and I can do, you know, admin work or whatever. Start getting my taxes together even more. But, but you just kind of roll with the punches and just see and, like, be okay with pivoting. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's not even like see how you are in bad situations, just like pay attention to how you are when things get a little bit harder. You know?
Yeah.
There are people I love some of the people that we work with will be like, I don't know, just excited to help things out of like a gulch or something, you know? And excited for a challenge. I shy away from people who make like work seem like more than it is, or who are afraid of a little adversity because you got to take care of that instead of what you want to be doing or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that those traits, and I can't even like put a word on some of those traits. Like a lot of it's like work ethic and whatever, but also pieces of it it'll show you like how loyal you are, how trustworthy you are, how dependable you are. Like all of those traits come from, I think, how you deal with things that are hard. So even just, and it doesn't have to be some kind of like tragic bad situation, just like when work gets hard, when, you know, if you have to find a new place, if you have to like fight through some kind of conflict, if you're fucking mad at one of your friends or whatever. Yeah, all that stuff helps you. And then what you need is some kind of perspective on it. It's like you have to go through all that stuff. That's why the journaling thing works so well. It's like you write in it for whatever, 6, take a break for 3. So you have that 3 months of perspective. It's like you could be going through hard stuff all the time, but unless you sit down and be like, how did that situation really go a year ago when I had a falling out with this person or that person? And how much of it was my fault and how much of it was their fault? What did I think back then? Do I still think the same things? That's why, like, I'm a pretty sure of myself person and I have confidence and, you know, I worked hard on myself to like myself and I have liked myself for a long time. And it goes up and down for sure. Confidence is like that. But sometimes I'll go to you and I'll be like, 5 years ago when I thought this, was I wrong or out of sorts or whatever? Like, was I in the wrong, whatever, like looking back? And then you'll normally be like, no, it was totally whatever. And be able to explain it away. But I do like always making sure I'm being who I think I'm being.
Who you think you are.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the time, a lot of people have a hard time looking in, right? And taking responsibility. Where it's not always just one-sided, you know, like, sure, you're pissed off or whatever, but what could you have also done to help this situation?
Right.
You know, like, I have no problem being like, well, I was wrong there. You know, like, I'm sorry for whatever. And there's been plenty of times that I've apologized for my behavior or whatever.
It's every time because we've never had an argument where I was wrong or that it was my fault. So I hear a lot of apologizing. And that's very brave.
You guys, this is the very last episode ever. Because Mike's gonna die.
Shout out to Zoya one time for being so brave and strong. And always wrong, and really always.
As you guys know, patreon.com is virtual typing in Ward's website. This needs to end so that nobody sees a murder and I am not.
Zoe, murdering me won't solve anything. Thank you. I love you very much. Thank you for giving your insight and input into this podcast.
I love you too.
We'll see you fucks next week. So many shows, so much travel coming up. So get your ass ready. Make sure your ass is ready.
Get your ass ready. Get your ass right. As you know, patreon.com is a virtual tipping and rewards website where you give us a little bit of your hard-earned cash and our $10 group gets a shout out. And that goes a little something like this. Cole Rusty, Joseph Capricusio, Shannon Haynes, DLD, Ernesto, Raja, Eliseas, Luis, and Odette.
It's fun, huh? Isn't it fun?
The echo is fucking me up.
Yeah, it's fun.
Lauren Chauncey, Paul Gilliam, Derek Helling, Steve Diergo, Chris McCarthy, Trevor the Werefishy, Joe Penn, Happy Birthday Starlight, JJ McToots, Rachel Last Name, Mike Genie, Alan Garcia, Connie Tryon, Isabella Sparkles, Antero Baez, Frankie Matos Music, Chris Fernandez, Johnny Rosito Handcrafted Neckwear, CCPB&J, Admam, Zoya, you're doing great. Caleb Perkins, Giant Tom Hanks, Lizzie Love, Gavin Welsh, Someone Tell Aaron, Jackie Hammond, Guy with Long Hair, Chris Johnson, Aunt Acid Vallis, Benjamin Putz, Beth Bush, Snuggle Pig H, Christina Camille, Happy Birthday Lex, Michael Johnson, Kayla Johnston, Grant Levasseur, Chad Clark, Heather Ashley, What is Cat, Katie Taylor, Shane Welsh, Evan Canoe, Joe Ban, Milky Beans, Jess Enright, Lillian Carrillo, Magnus Silva, Barrington Lloyd Lovett, Ben Fuchs, Theodorus Carambelis, Janisha Tutton, Danny Sinclair, Justine Beebestein, Just Josh, Sergeant Sparty, Ed Birch, Helen Ford, Luminos, Superfloss, Tatiana Clay, Danielle G. Verona, Valerie York, Dev, Jesse Stillwell, Katie Lee G, Rob DeVue, Devereaux, Don Bjor, Lester DeLeon III, Luis Hernandez, Alexander Legowski, Monique Quistorf, Jamie Garner, Cody Ostolas, Felicia Shimberry, and Matthew J. Palka. You guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you. We thank you. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Horny.